Hey guys, Ego Van Gogh here again. This one talk about another fun thing going back in time. Like we're doing this video here with this retro VHS looking thing with the you don't understand about the magic of that time period. I'm talking about one of my favorite directors of all time, which is a man named Tobe Hooper, who did the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and perfected something in the 80s he called red humor, which is where it's all over the top gory, it's all messed up that it becomes comical. Which he had made a deal with Canon Films in the 85, and he did 3 movies for those guys. He did Life Force, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and a film I love called The Invaders from Mars, which doesn't get a lot of love. And I think it's because a lot of people said that the tone was off. It didn't have the right feel. It was like, was it a comedy? Was it serious? Was it a whatever? It was an actual remake. It was pretty good compared to the original. I mean, it had great special effects by Stan Winston, who was fresh off of the Terminator movie. And then later on we'll do Terminator 2 and with Scissorhands, Jurassic Park, and Pumpkinhead and all that stuff. So he was great. So you get some great special effects. You get some good acting. It was a film I saw time period that's like in the early 90s, which I love, was coming home from school on TBS. They would play crazy movies like Invaders from Mars and Men of Olympus and The Beast on the Streets and all these crazy movies. In the afternoon, one time, that was one of the first times I saw Poltergeist. As a little kid back running home from school, getting in my room, turning on my TV in my bedroom, and putting on TBS and watching some crazy messed up movie. It was great. They don't do that anymore. They should. I think they should. But that's where I first saw Invaders from Mars. And then later on, I watched Electric Boogaloo, the documentary about Canon Films, and a lot of people in that movie documentary said they didn't like Invaders from Mars. They said the tone was off. It was weird. It was not right. I don't know. But I love it, and a lot of other people love it too. If you haven't seen it, look it up. As far as remakes go, I think it should be out there with the other 80s sci-fi remakes. Because in the 80s, they did a couple of these remakes of sci-fi movies from the 50s. They did The Thing, The Blob, The Fly, and then Invaders from Mars is kind of up there with those. And then you get the 70s Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Don Sutherland, which I love that movie. It's great. So if you haven't seen Invaders from Mars, you'd love it. It's got a lot of cool, like, weird stuff in it. It's creepy, it's kooky, it's weird, and it's great. So, Auf Wiedersehen.